So before we get into like the last couple of years, like take us back. Like what's the story? Where have you come from? What have you done?
Well, I've only had my builder's license for I think it's about 5 years now. So before that, wasn't a real typical straight path apprenticeship. Jump into that. So pretty much I went to Wollongong with my oldies, or with my mum actually. So we went there pretty much as soon as I dropped out of year 11. Signed myself out of school, much to mum's disgust. I got home one day with the signed paperwork. And then not long after that, we moved to Wollongong, and I jumped into doing pretty much learned how to surf for the first 4 months. Spent that there, and then worked with a bloke doing coping around pools. That was sort of my first introduction to hard labour. But my old man's a builder, so I've been on job sites with him. When I was a kid, doing things like that, and then he rang me. There was an opening, so he offered me an apprenticeship. I think I just turned 19, so I moved back to Narrandera. Jumped in an apprenticeship with him and did 3 years with him. Mate, he's like, we butt heads, like we're on the job site, and but out of work, like we're really good mates, go camping together, do all that sort of shit. But on the job site, I think we're just too much alike. So 3 years, I was 3 years in, and then my brother kicked off his apprenticeship. So we were just blowing all the time, like the three of us.
So you, your brother, and your old man all on the one job site?
Yeah, so I was third year when my brother signed up. He's 4 years younger. So that was sort of, fireworks most days. So it was pretty interesting 6 months. And then my old man's just like, fuck, this is enough. So he ran one of his mates, he's a concreter. They were working an hour away with a company from Victoria. So they had an opening. So I jumped on with those boys, they were doing refurb concrete works at treatment plants and things like that. So I jumped on with them, finished my apprenticeship with those boys, and I loved it. Like they were staying at pubs. I was 19, so they lived in the pubs. They travelled around for work. So I was like, packed up my unit I had and pretty much hit the road with them. The old man rang. He's like, when are you coming back? So I'm not. So I stayed with these boys for, I would say, 3 or 4 years. Travelled around, lived in different parts of the country, like Victoria, mostly Victoria. Lived in some towns down there, Leongatha, Inverloch. And then Christy moved down with us. I think we were living in Inverloch, so she came down there for 6 months, ended up working in the office on site. It just got too much. We wanted to sort of settle down a bit, so we went back home, moved back home with the plan to save money to go overseas, and we ended up having Amelia. So with 16 years, we're still there. And then drifted in and out of like chippy work, subcontracting most of the time. It's pretty much a subby since I finished my time. Went back with my old man, and then jumped on with a building company in Narrandera, pretty much sort of supervising a lot of their staff for 2 or 3 years, and then jumped in to do fly and fly out. So I did that for close to 4 years, I reckon, between Queensland, Western Australia, and then about 2 years in Darwin on the gas plants up there. Then came back and just really went concreting, formwork at home, like bathrooms, carpentry. In New South Wales, you don't, for commercial work, you don't need a licence. So we did a lot of...
any commercial work?
No, don't need a builder's licence for commercial work in New South Wales. So
what?
We're doing like, $200,000, $300,000 jobs with no builder's licence, mostly for the council. So we got in with them. So we're doing a lot of their like refurb work and stuff like that. So...
Well, look, you can do structural work with no licence. Like you got to be a licensed concrete or carpenter or something.
Like I had a carpenter's ticket, but that's so no licence needed for commercial work. I think it's slowly changing. I think it's New South Wales and I think Northern Territory, the only 2 states where you don't have to.
Yeah, right.
So I did that for sort of 2 or 3 years. Built up the business, had an apprentice, and then I signed up to do RPL, so recognition of prior learning, to get my builder's licence, and opened the email and pretty much just shit myself with how much work there was to do that. I think there was like 70 questions of practical, 70 of and there was like multiple questions inside that. So I think the government was a bit of a rebate for that. So I think it was $1,500 to get your builder's licence. So I signed up thinking it was going to be a piece of piss. They failed me 2 or 3 times, and each time they charged me, I think it's like $1,500. I was up to about $6,000, and Christy's like, if you do not finish this fucking course, so And same thing, trying to run a business, 2 young kids, like it was just, I just kept putting it on the back burner, but they kept charging me money every time the expiry date was sort of finished.
So you're trying to do all your course and everything after hours and night time?
Yeah,
And it's,
yeah. So, and then it was just, I had the guys that were running it, they were pretty shit outfit. And the guys that I would talk to, I suppose my assessor, I went through 3 or 4. One tried to extort me like 5 or 6 grand to like sign me off, said he'd fly down if I paid this. And I was like, fuck. And in the end, like he got the ass. It was a long story, but in the end, some people I know hit me up they went own a builder and then to do their extension for them. So we jumped in to do that, and my last assessor was awesome. He's like, mate, if you document the job, that's pretty much all you'll need. So I documented that. Had a hernia injury just before that, so I got all the paperwork done during that time.
Yeah.
And then just did the practical stuff on this job site and got signed off then. I thought it was all done and dusted, and then, like, as you know, like all the steps the hurdles you have to jump through to get your license and then your home warranty and all that. So then that's where we got to. So now, I got the builder's license 2020, I think. So we did the whole COVID period like on that job pretty much, which was a bit of a blessing really. Like, it was all cost plus. So, and here we are, fast forward 5 years, and we've been 2 apprentices now. The first apprentice didn't last. I think he did 2 years and sort of wasn't for him. I think that's when I joined sort of Elevate around that time. Like he finished up, and then we're just in a pretty shitty space. Signed up another apprentice and sort of went from there, and he's still with us. He's just about hit 4th year now, and we've got a 1st year, and things are good.
All right, guys, I want to introduce you to a really exciting new product that I believe is going to play a massive role in Australia building healthier homes. As you all know, I am extremely passionate about healthy homes, and I'm doing a lot of research and putting a lot of time and effort into making sure my construction business is leading the way when it comes to building healthy homes here in Australia. We've teamed up with the guys from Highwood Timber. Highwood Timber are pioneering condensation management with their high-flow ventilated LVL batten system. High-flow battens give builders a stronger, straighter and smarter way to create a ventilated cavity behind cladding and underneath roofs, without compromising on structural performance. While tackling condensation to improve building health and ease of installation, Highwood battens are built to perform. When it comes to dealing with condensation and ventilation, high-flow battens will help you create continuous ventilated cavities behind all your cladding and underneath your roof sheeting. They reduce condensation risk and support healthier, longer-lasting buildings. Highwood timber battens are also in alignment with the proposed NCC condensation management requirements, as well as passive house ventilation requirements. Being an engineered LVL product, they are stronger, straighter, and more dimensionally stable than a solid material such as pine. This helps resist warping, twisting, and shrinkage, ensuring more consistent installs, less prone to splitting than solid timber. Highwood timber battens are precisely manufactured, meaning that your installation will be faster and easier than other products on the market. The part that I like the most about these battens are they are H3 treated for long-term protection against decay and termites. They use a waterborne H3 treatment which reduces reactivity with membranes and adhesives when compared to LOSP. These are the exact battens that you want to be using on your homes and your builds if you are considering building healthier homes or passive homes. Check them out, Highwood Timber Products.